Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, November 11th, at 3:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 674 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Man fulfills physicist dream, earns PhD at 89. Judge weighs request for a mistrial in Kyle Rittenhouse case. We killed Herman Cain, Trump staffers say they blame themselves for Cain's COVID-19 death after he attended Tulsa rally. A trucker explains the truck driver shortage, we're tired of carrying the country on our backs. I love working at Hooters, but hearing about our viral new underwear uniforms almost made me quit. I'm a Frosted Flakes man, Kevin Garnett denies ever telling Carmelo Anthony that Lala tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios. 105-year-old woman sets 100-meter dash world record in Louisiana Senior Games. California school district will not comply with Newsom's COVID-19 vaccine mandate, prepared to accept costs. Zendaya dazzled in a bubble waist skirt and matching bandeau bra to accept a major fashion icon award. Florida woman loses over $700,000 in grandparents scam. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. California man who killed wife, 3 children sentenced to life in prison, NBC News. 7 takeaways from experts Metro Detroit COVID update, I consider this our 4th surge, WDIV click on Detroit. Near-Earth asteroid is a fragment from the moon, say scientists, The Guardian. Fantasy Football Week 10, Sleepers, Yahoo Sports. We drank from puddles, migrants describe brutal journey through forests on Belarus-Poland border, CNN. LeBron James on Kyle Rittenhouse crying during trial, man knock it off, Sports Illustrated. Elon Musk, Tesla directors are cashing out billions as stock hits record high, Observer. Trump makes new bid to block records from Capitol riot probe before Friday deadline, CNBC. Panthers agree to terms with Cam Newton, Panthers.com. U.S. warning Europe that Russia may invade Ukraine, Bloomberg. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Olympian Suni Lee says she was pepper sprayed in anti-Asian attack. A parole board twice suggesting this man may be innocent, Oklahoma plans to execute him anyway. Almost Veterans Day tribute earns its stripes by mocking fake soldiers. Illness of dolphin tail star prompts Florida aquarium to close one day. Trump scrambles to pause imminent release of January 6 docs. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's son gets jail time for stabbing neighbor. Death threats jolt Republicans who voted for infrastructure bill. Jessica Simpson releases emotional single about addiction, says song saved her. Man to plead guilty in rapper Mac Miller's death. A feminist green wave is sweeping Latin America. The next headlines are from the 4th most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Trooper facing federal charge over traffic stop. Video, car careens into dry cleaning business. Officials, woman carjacked while picking up child. State trooper rescues injured owl hit by car. Drone used to find missing 70-year-old. Changing drug laws means changing K-9 training. Vietnam vet reunites with man he saved on battlefield 50 years ago. Education specialist earns statewide recognition. Lottery tickets stolen from Orangeburg store. Woman reclaims stolen Halloween decorations. The next headlines are from the 5th most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. If this country won't listen to moms, I'm asking men to start shouting. China's Communist Party paves the way for Xi to extend his rule. Belarus and Poland trade insults and threats as migrant plight worsens. Veterans have become unlikely lobbyists in push to legalize psychedelic drugs. Biden marks first Veterans Day in 2 decades without a war underway. Sudan's top general entrenches military coup, frustrating Western efforts. Business updates, Alibaba reports lower sales growth for Singles Day event. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone at 20, the film that started it all. The Celtics are starting to get their act together. The shadow of Ronald Reagan is costing us dearly. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, November 11th. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Great-great-grandson of Viscount Astor, 19, spat vomit at police officer, court hears. Kamala mocked for putting on French accent during bizarre speech at COVID lab in Paris. Travis Scott is seen pacing outside his $14 million Houston mansion. Why Meghan Markle's aide released bombshell messages about letter to her father and finding freedom. Mass 15th century grave with more than 25 skeletons found in the ancient Peruvian city Chanchan. Shocking moment, driver's car takes off as he races over bridge then plows into grandfather. Adele details overcoming her mental health battles. Murder accused phoned another suspect to tell him a 15-year-old boy wanted to hand himself in. Austria is days away from placing millions of unvaccinated people under lockdown. Illegal logger in Washington state is jailed for 20 months after being caught by tree DNA. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. River in India sacred to Hindus blanketed in toxic white foam. Belarus's Lukashenko warns Europe, sanction us again and we could cut gas supply. Why the WHO is pushing for a global pandemic treaty. Workers take coffee breaks at their own risk, Italy's top court finds. How does the US compare to other countries on paid parental leave? Americans get 0 weeks, Estonians get more than 80. Border crossings by Haitian migrants plunged in October, CBP data show. Attack on journalists in Yemen shows it has become death career, even away from the front line. Climate leaders are united on one thing, Scotland's glowing orange drink, Iron Brew. China passes history resolution to enshrine open-ended rule of Xi Jinping. Eastern Europe, facing COVID surge, also battles vaccine hesitancy. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's US news feed. World Cup qualifying clock watch, Ireland v Portugal, Greece v Spain, live. Trump asks court to block release of records to Capitol Attack Committee, live. Band-aid on bullet wound, Flint water settlement leaves some residents angry. COVID live, Germany reports record 50,000 new cases, Dutch experts recommend lockdown amid record cases. COP26, and trillions in subsidies given to fossil fuel industry, says UN chief, Day 11 live. Lewis Hamilton says he must win Brazilian GP to keep title fight alive. Fearful of overwhelmed morgues and battling lockdown protests, New Zealand faces up to COVID peak. Belarus threatens to cut gas deliveries to EU if sanctioned over border crisis. CEO designate of spyware firm NSO quits after U.S. blacklisting. Choreographer killed himself after sexual misconduct claims, inquest hears. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Expert at Rittenhouse trial zeroes in on just a few minutes. Program to kill Grand Canyon bison nets 4 animals, criticism. Austrian leader says lockdown for the unvaccinated is likely. Watch, golden retriever tries to be kittens for ringed. Pentagon's claims of rogue Green Berets challenged in ABC News documentary. Liberty responds to ex-spokesman suit, seeks gag order. South Africa's last apartheid president F.W. de Klerk dies. Disappearing shorts, as stocks soar, skeptics surrender. Meghan says sorry to court for forgetting book discussions. Biden to make it easier for vets exposed to toxic burn pits to receive benefits. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. COVID, Austrians heading towards lockdown for unvaccinated. Celebrity grizzly bear takes her cubs into town. COP26, UN Chief Guterres says global warming target on life support. Belarus threatens EU gas as bloc considers sanctions. F.W. de Klerk, the man who still divides South Africa. Judge says Texas school mask mandate ban violates disabled student rights. Poland-Belarus crisis, the lives caught in a stalemate. My day at COP26, anything we achieve in Glasgow is not going to be enough. Chan Chan, mass grave found in ancient Peruvian city. Hong Kong's Captain America protester jailed under national security law. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Homeowners tape deposition played for jurors. Stretched too thin, with staff exhausted, schools cancel class or turn to remote learning. Crew launch marks 600 space travelers in 60 years. Transcripts offer window into Cuomo investigation. Augmented reality brings Olympics birthplace alive. Kyle Rittenhouse lawyers to continue building self-defense case after emotional testimony, calls for mistrial. UN chief says climate goal on life support. SpaceX and NASA Crew 3 mission finally launched into space after multiple delays. Chinese-American World War II vets were forgotten, ignored and excluded. That's no longer the case. Chauvin jury questionnaires provide inside look at challenges of choosing fair panel on high-profile case. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Shooting at Hollywood strip club leaves one hospitalized. Orange County sees robust demand for child COVID-19 vaccines. CMO investigamos la historia sobre los desplazamientos provocados por las autopistas. La historia resistidores del log de las autopistas interestates en Estados Unidos. Celebrities among those targeted in spate of follow home robberies, Los Angeles Police Department says. No California adult should be denied a COVID-19 booster shot, state officials say. Podcast, Why We Forget U.S. Violence Toward Chinatowns. Hazy skies, poor air quality, is port congestion worsening LA pollution? 12 years after this teen was locked up, the prosecutor who convicted him changed his mind. Thousands lay flowers at tomb at the unknowns to mark Veterans Day. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, November 11th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Tokyo tax authorities uncovered a China-based scheme that invested about 27 billion yen, $237 million, in Japanese real estate using cryptocurrency to avoid the watchful eye of the Chinese government. War crimes and crimes against humanity charges brought against Swedish oil company London Energy, London Petroleum, and its former executives for events in Sudan between 1999-2003, making it the first time since the Nuremberg trials that a publicly traded company faces such charges. The U.S. warns the EU that Russia may be weighing a potential Ukraine invasion. Japanese train driver sues after wages dock 28p over 1-minute delay. Elon Musk just sold $5 billion in Tesla stock, but he made plans weeks before asking his Twitter followers whether he should sell 10% of his shares. Morgues fill up in Romania and Bulgaria amid low COVID vaccine uptake. Chinese Communist Party resolution cements Xi Jinping's leadership, putting him on par with Mao, and paves way for legacy-defining third term. Boeing accepts liability for Ethiopian Airlines 737 MAX crash. Netherlands breaks coronavirus records with over 16,000 new infections today. Security law, nearly 6 years jail for Hong Konger who incited secession with pro-independence chants and slogans. Russia denies role in EU border crisis, calls Aeroflot sanctions idea crazy. From Iceland, massive earthquake hits near Hekla volcano. Russian troop movements show larger conflict is possible, Ukraine. Sweden charges London energy executives for complicity in Sudan war crimes. Germany records 50,000 COVID-19 cases in dramatic virus surge. The next headlines are from Forbes. Star Trek 4 feat makes bold play to capitalize on Star Wars delay. How Red Notice director Ross and Marshall Thurber landed as 3 superstars. Chargers' interlinings get digitized, reducing waste in apparel design. Russia tries to shut down a top human rights group. Allegations of mass killings of protesters by the Iranian government under review. How to play Battlefield 2042 feet a week early. Cam Newton, now vaccinated, will return to Carolina after split with Patriots. William Friedkin on the French Connection at 50 and the sequel he still wants to make. Trump shadow diplomacy, deploys ambassador to address Serbia-Kosovo tensions. Elden Ring Network test beta play time schedule and what to expect. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Sleeplessness and anxiety, PhD supervisors on toll of COVID pandemic. When Finnish researchers took on the Twitter trolls. Your COP26 questions answered, modeling a planetary patient. Author correction, isolation of SARS-CoV-2 related coronavirus from Malayan pangolins. COP26 scientist, microbes can help curb climate change. Author correction, codon-specific translation reprogramming promotes resistance to targeted therapy. Author correction, hepatic stellate cells suppress NK cell-sustained breast cancer dormancy. Bendable mini scanner records every loop of a fingerprint. COVID is disrupting scientific careers around the world. A guide on how to work in vaccine science. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,743,972,634 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Lena Dunham, Ruth Wilson, Dennis Lehane team for Ma Queen's limited series at HBO. Netflix comedy Uncoupled drops Latina's housekeeper character as veteran actor speaks out, "I'm fed up." The 21 Best Criminal Minds episodes, ranked. Oscar International Film Race leans on Cannes, Venice film festivals. Richard D. Jones launches production company Prophecy Pictures Entertainment exclusive. Adele shades Duke's Moy, the LA dating scene and reveals the story behind I Drink Wine ahead of 30 album release. IMAX hires former Netflix executive Julie Fontaine to lead marketing. Scooter Brown to keynote Variety Business Managers Elite Virtual Breakfast. IAT's chief urges members to ratify contract that brings meaningful improvements on all priorities. Movistar Plus unveils breathtaking lineup of Spanish directors for dystopian anthology series Apen. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. U.S. and China announce surprise climate agreement at COP26 summit. A former Marine says the contradictions of war can make you feel insane. The UN chief says the main global warming goal is on life support. Zombie River, London's Thames, once biologically dead, has been coming back to life. How $6 billion from Elon Musk could feed millions on the brink of famine. A teacher who devotes herself to immigrants in Maryland just won a $1 million prize. A citizen journalist who shined a light on the pandemic in Wuhan may die in prison. For Brianna Fruian, the smell of mud drives home the need for climate action. China's Communist Party, with eye on history, gives Xi Jinping the same status as Mao. Black veterans remember Colin Powell and offer him a final salute for the ages. The following headlines are from The Week. COVID vaccine misinformation and hesitancy are spreading as fast as the virus in Eastern Europe. Matthew McConaughey says he's not against vaccinating kids at all after backlash. Might the great hope of the never-Trumpers be Chris Christie? Trump reveals he has an envoy ambassador making foreign visits for him. Is a predictable and manageable phase of COVID finally upon us? Inflation is making it harder to feed and clothe a young family. MoviePass co-founder teases that the service is exploring the possibility of relaunching soon. Meghan Markle apologizes for misleading court, says she didn't recall exchanges about biography. Boomers use woke more than other generations, hate OK Boomer, mansplain, slang survey finds. Late night hosts find the comedic upside in Biden's inflation woes and Trump's January 6th beatdown. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Invisible Scars. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Hubble is back online, partially. Astronomy Jargon 101, Type 2 Supernovae. The sounds of Mars, hear the wind and crunch of rover wheels on the red planet. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, November 11th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. November 2021 partial lunar eclipse longest for 1,000 years. Partial lunar eclipse November 18th to 19th, great for North America. Watch live, Crew 3 to arrive at International Space Station. Heads up, Leonid meteor shower to peak morning of November 17th. Ultra-hot exoplanet has a weird, wild atmosphere. Planet observing is easy, top tips here. Permafrost thaw in the Arctic, in the next 30 years. Favorite moon and planet photos, so far. The next news is from Politico. An Oath Keeper says he protected a police officer on January 6th, the cop says that's false. Trust deficit stalls vaccinations in Eastern Europe, driving new COVID surge. Harris, Macron paper over diplomatic spat with smiles. How corrupt is Britain? Biden administration wrestles with selling armed drones to Indonesia. Opinion: Biden says he takes inflation seriously, he's not acting like it. A $124 billion tax increase, Wall Street shrugs. The best and worst case scenarios for the world as COP26 ends. China elevates Xi over tradition that would require him to step down. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Start now and give a gift of plants this Christmas. Mike Tamalaris says he was an emotional wreck after forced resignation from SBS TV. ASX set for gains as tech leads Wall Street rebound. Glasgow COP26 summit nears deadlock, core 1.5 degree goal on life support. Employers want end to rules requiring poor jobs to go to family and friends of union members. Wade the hero as Australia stunned Pakistan in semi-final thriller. We get knocked down, Melbourne the nation's house demolition capital. There's something easy we can all do to protect the earth. The PMs can do. Climate capitalism won't work without a price on carbon. Police were prevented from arresting Labour MPs over red shirts roared, documents. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Distributed ledger, some hedge funds are seeing Ether as an inflation hedge. A crypto brokerage's CEO explains why. Billions of dollars in infrastructure bill for charging could supercharge electric vehicle adoption. As much as we want to move past the virus, we cannot right now. What a cancelled trip says about our continuing struggle with COVID-19. Job listings offering less than $15 an hour are starting to disappear in today's tight labor market. Metal stocks, gold scores a sixth straight rise, settles at highest since June. Cannabis watch, Green Thumb Industries rallies as profit doubles. BlackRock says net zero pledges among clients have hit critical mass. ETF wrap, the anti-Cathie Wood ETF has landed. Here's how it's doing so far. Realtor.com, Maui Wowie, Jeff Bezos reportedly buys $78 compound in Hawaii. Coronavirus update, federal judge deals blow to Texas ban on face masks in schools, and Europe struggles to contain rising COVID-19 cases and deaths. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Congressional Republicans propose to abolish America Invents Act, and a bit more. J.D. Supra. What's up with Vodafone and City Fiber, Rakuten Mobile, 5G in Malaysia, Telecom TV. Japan out of sync with COP26 coal phase-out push, New Statesman. What were the most important inventions in American history? Big Think. Sufficiency challenges keep pace with innovation, Lexology. UKIPO consults further on AI and copyright and patent inventorship, Lexology. SOSA Hector's operational highlights and consolidated results for 9 months ended September 30, 2021, PR Newswire. Nokia reaches 4,000 essential patent families milestone, Globe Newswire. Moderna and U.S. at odds over vaccine patent rights, The New York Times. Swampscott Historical Commission announces the opening of the inaugural exhibit of treasures from historical archives, Patch.com. The next headlines are from Quartz. The average U.S. home for sale has been staying on the market for 1 week. Can Hollywood win back the global box office crown from China? Why the Nika IPO fared better than the Paytm IPO. An old friendship is behind the surprise as China COP26 announcement. A handful of pro gamers is putting Kenya on the global esports map. Listen to the crypto converts. Shipping companies are turning to a container alternative, industrial bags. Countries are committing to testing out zero-carbon shipping lanes. Elon Musk finally began honoring his Twitter poll. No one knows how $80 billion in climate financing was spent in 2019. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Rupert Murdoch spreads false claim Biden FCC nom wants to censor conservatives, Newsmax and OWN immediately prove him wrong. Daily Deal, Shell's personal cloud computer. The curious case of billionaire Brian Sheth, an anonymous tweeter, copyright law, Twitter, and some company that barely seemed to exist. Clearview officially kicked out of Australia for violation country's privacy laws. Denuvo Games once again broken for paying customers thanks to DRM mishap. Content moderation case study, electric truck company uses copyright claims to hide criticism, 2020. Apple faces yet more right to repair backlash over iPhone 13 screen. Missouri admits it F-worded up in exposing teacher data, offers apology to teachers, but not to journalists it falsely accused of hacking. 7 years after discovering rogue stingray devices in DC, the federal government still doesn't have any idea what to do about it. Daily Deal, Stack Skills Unlimited. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Cam Newton. Adam Anderson. Veteran. Disney stock. Kid Cutie. What is Veterans Day? Pakistan vs. Australia. Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Lodex. Thomas Rhett. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Russia set to make COVID-19 vaccination QR codes compulsory for use of public transport. EU predicts when high energy prices will decrease. Germany says nuclear energy will set back turning EU green. Fashion icon Tom Ford says cancel culture restricts creativity. Reaction to closure of Kiev post once again highlights Western hypocrisy over Ukraine. Latvia warns that NATO could be brought in to defend EU's border with Belarus. Russia comments on allegations of its involvement in migrant crisis on Belarus-Poland border. Japanese plan to invade USSR revealed. COVID-19 panel advises first lockdown in Western Europe in summer. No more 9 woke blacklists, says Cambridge after Hitler accent row. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. China's 6th plenum paves way for Xi Jinping to become emperor for life. Rabo, the Fed is getting flattened, whatever happens now. Baltic states warn of military clash over Belarus' deliberate escalation of migrant crisis. Facebook users unable to find results when searching for Kyle Rittenhouse amid teen homicide trial. She pushes Biden into political catch-22 with official invitation to Winter Olympics. YouTube hides dislikes following mass downvoting of Biden administration videos. Diddy shares jump on report apps to be relaunched in China. Futures rebound from post-CPI rout as China property stocks soar. UK vaccine mandate may force 123,000 out of healthcare sector. Elon Musk and his brother have sold over $5 billion of Tesla shares in the past week. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Pakistan face Australia in T20 World Cup semi-final, live. 5 members of family killed in air raid on Syria's Idlib. Are U.S. Democrats facing a smackdown in next year's election? Poland-Belarus border crisis deepens, live updates. As Poland repels migrants, locals offer humanitarian aid. The Global South does not need debt, we need climate justice. Dating as a black Muslim in the UK, my identity is important. Poll toll, Musk sells $5 billion of Tesla stock after Twitter survey. Rights body questions if Libya can hold free and fair elections. China, Communist Party passes resolution on history to elevate Xi. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Great Reset Watch, a cashless society is coming. Los Angeles Police Department advises city residents to cooperate and comply with robbers. 26 states distance themselves from NSBA letter targeting parents as domestic terrorists. Report, Senator Joe Manchin could delay Biden's Build Back Better bill until next year. Wet tears too, LeBron James mocks Kyle Rittenhouse for crying during trial testimony. Procter & Gamble employees push back on vaccine mandate, it's coercion, plain and simple. Bigala, Trump and his GOP death cult are a threat to the nation. CRT co-founder, children should learn U.S. ground is soaked in blood of theft. Exclusive American counterpunch. Governor Greg Abbott touts his state as the land of freedom and opportunity. Missouri School District hires high school students due to short staffing. The next headlines are from UPI News. North Carolina man turns $50 lottery win into $100,000. Watch, highly venomous snake rescued from fishing net. Fox sold to Peruvian family as a dog captured 6 months after escape. Watch, steer spared slaughter after water slide adventure in Brazil. Mystery structure spotted off Florida coast was a heavy lifting barge. Woman runs 95 marathons in 95 days, earns Guinness World Record. Indiana deputy corrals pair of escaped ponies. The following headlines are from Earth Files, updates on Earth and astronomical mysteries. Part 8, Army CIA unit studied the real UFO Blue Book cases. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Watch company give 11 homes to 11 stunned veterans, and you can enter now to win the last one. Why do dogs tilt their heads? Scientists look at what's going on in their minds. Sweat collecting patch inspired by cactus spines eliminates need for diabetics to prick for blood. Teacher shares brilliant Band-Aid lesson to teach kids about fairness, and it goes viral. Watch Dwayne Johnson give $30K truck to the guy who took him in when The Rock was a homeless teenager. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, November 11th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Drugs cheaper than food for Lebanon's Palestinian refugees. Man accused of using shovel to attack seagull on Florida beach. Fatty acid found in palm oil linked to spread of cancer. Woman punches her son and steals passengers' cookies on flight from Texas, FAA says. Stole from children, KY attorney sentenced for theft from children of wreck victim. Florida man goes on free shopping spree at Lowe's, arrested. Dancing Florida man nabbed in jewel heist, partner at large. Fairfield rejects Chick-fil-A over traffic concerns. Activists stressed as Squid Game characters target Samsung chairman over coal investments at COP26. 10 Republican-led states sue over vaccine mandate for healthcare workers. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Amazing makes file management simple, especially at this ultra-low pre-Black Friday price. Hide the Pain Herald's new autumn stock photos perfectly capture your dark day blues. No, people don't lie more online, we promise. US wants to stop drunk driving with tech, any tech at all. Elon Musk wasn't actually asking for your opinion on his $5 billion Tesla stock sale. New dark matter theory has a terrifying explanation for the universe's expansion. Tesla's biggest Cybertruck competitor just rolled out the largest IPO this year. Unis are using AI to keep students from cheating and it's a bit creepy. 3 reasons why sodium-ion batteries may dethrone lithium. Meta's ban on sensitive ad categories doesn't spell the end for micro-targeting on Facebook. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Black hole found hiding in star cluster outside our galaxy. Capturing the impact of human sewage on Earth's coastal ecosystems. A personalized exosuit for real-world walking. Reversing new onset type 1 diabetes with pyramid-like DNA, mouse study. When algorithms get creative. Students research upend's understanding of upper atmospheric wind. Female bush babies more stressed, may be more vulnerable to changing environment. Zika virus-specific therapy protects the fetal mouse brain. How do we learn to learn? New research offers an education. Spread of trans-Eurasian languages was due to agriculture. The next headlines are from Information Week. How climate change is changing cyber resilience plans. A Venn diagram is forming through it OT convergence. The IT talent crisis, 2 ways to hire and retain. Skilling up the cybersecurity workforce of tomorrow. Crisis learnings can fuel technology leaders' innovation strategies. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, November 11th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA SpaceX Crew 3 astronauts headed to International Space Station. NASA to provide coverage of U.S. Astronaut Hall of Fame induction. NASA to host briefing on laser communications demonstration. NASA SpaceX Crew 2 astronauts to discuss mission, splashdown. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Mother-in-law apartments are getting easier to build in Salt Lake City, but it's still a tedious process. Nick Sargent, Utah's winter outdoor industry needs more climate action from Pacific Corp. Marion Bishop, I'm an ER doctor, and here's why I'm vaccinating my children. Utah school districts are offering extra pay to attract substitute teachers. Will it work? Appeals court brings back excessive force lawsuit against officer who killed Patrick Harmon. The rundown, let's go, Spencer. Gordon Monson, Izzy's story shows Utah must stop racial bias and hate, now. Letter, maybe we could get Rep. Owens to move to Texas. How this Utah dreamer responds to the ongoing legal challenges to the immigration program. Department of Defense helps staff new St. George monoclonal antibody treatment site. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Google wants to save the planet with satellite images. Discord pushes pause on exploring crypto and NFTs amidst user backlash. Global temperatures over last 24,000 years show today's warming unprecedented. Microsoft is very determined that kids will learn to code using Minecraft. Black holes may gain mass from the expansion of the universe itself. Steam Deck delayed, Valve apologizes. Apple will no longer break Face ID on repaired iPhone 13s. Unity to buy the Lord of the Rings VFX studio at a digital in $1.63 billion deal. 3 out of 4 adults think Facebook is making society worse, poll finds. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Man hidden killed by SUV on West Florissant, SUV fled the scene. Missouri State Treasurer's Office wants to return military medals to rightful owners. Police, missing Illinois 1-year-old could be in Missouri, mother found dead. Mass car break-in trend hits blues fans. Veterans Day starts out rainy with high temperatures in the 50s. Kurt Warner's new biopic highlights long journey of his quick rise to fame, fortune. How to defend yourself against this alarming St. Louis crime trend. Transgender community feels welcome at a St. Louis County gym. Veterans Day events across the St. Louis area. St. Louis County man sentenced for violent horror show involving wife and couple. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Car hits 2 pedestrians near Liberty Station. Free gas among local freebies offered on Veterans Day. AJ Preller, Padres core of players can win World Series, but some pieces needed. Poway unified to keep next meeting virtual after officials reportedly draw death threats. Winter is coming, state leaders work to avoid repeat of last winter's surge in COVID-19 cases. ESA says U.S. isn't cutting enough red tape to get stranded Americans home. Police say resident killed man who was robbing his Oceanside home. Blustery Santa Ana winds, heat raises San Diego's wildfire risk. Watch, wounded pelican returns to wild after care from SeaWorld cruise. County leaders change public comment policy to curb hate speech. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Video, watch China's futuristic drone in action. U.S. Army just tested new Canadian combat vehicle. German defense firm showcases new air defense system. Hermes unveils autonomous high-speed aircraft. Drone delivers life-saving blood to medics on the battlefield. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Xi Jinping's greatest hits, so far. Chinese grad student in Chicago killed in shooting. Luo Jialing, aka Liza Hardoon, in the height of global Shanghai. We will not stop, students of Nanjing University protest school's handling of sexual harassment case. Chinese fans leave behind government's video game bashing to celebrate esports team's world title. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, November 11th, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Why is inflation so high, and how long will it last? 4 arrested in 2019 homicide of Bay Area teen. Veterans Day, how crosses and mementos help these Marines remember fallen comrades. Can at-home COVID tests make my holiday gathering safer? Woman complained soup was too hot, threw it at employee's face, restaurant manager says. Man arrested in connection to several catalytic converter thefts in Hayward. Life-saving stations installed along San Mateo County coast after boy drowns. 44 members of Cal football team test positive for COVID-19. San Francisco elementary staff member fatally struck by car near school. We might get justice, attorney after police raid ex-mayor Dominic Faboli's home. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Spain, volcanic islands banana growers get a lift from Navy. Man earns PhD, fulfills dream of being physicist, at 89. Rittenhouse gives account of shootings, I defended myself. Pope urges European solidarity with migrants amid new crisis. Snow on the way, winter weather expected throughout weekend. A look at key points in Kyle Rittenhouse's testimony. Better, Lake Zurich's Lisa Fielding hosts new WBBM News radio podcast. Dream unrealized, ahead of MLK dinner in Schaumburg, suburbanites say King's dream requires work. Constable, suburbanites say serving in Afghanistan was unique, but bond with veterans is universal. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. What's open, what's closed in Seattle on Veterans Day? Final phase of repairs to West Seattle Bridge begin this month, expect to see crews. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone 421, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil, Peru. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo. Volcanic eruption is ongoing for La Palma in Spain. Drought is ongoing in Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. Drought is ongoing in Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in Italy. Drought is ongoing in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, November 11th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Texas ECWU search digs a new search for victims remains in Houston's most notorious serial killing. Kyle Rittenhouse gives account of shootings in murder trial, defense demands mistrial. Teen, mom involved in homecoming queen vote scandal deny all charges in GMA interview. Will Smith dishes on new Nat Geo series Welcome to Earth, debuting on Disney+. Scams targeting Zelle app users rising as criminals get more creative, how to avoid losing thousands. Driver shot on Beltway refuses help from Good Samaritan, police say. How did Kyle Rittenhouse do on stand in murder trial? He helped himself, legal experts say. Kyle Rittenhouse takes the stand, key takeaways from day 7 of the trial. Disney Plus passes 118 million subscribers ahead of second anniversary. Travis Scott's attorney says city leaders should stop finger-pointing. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. The stock market is happy, the bond market is showing worry. Meghan apologizes to court for forgetting book discussions. Biden bill includes boost for union-made electric vehicles. Stocks open higher on Wall Street, led by gains in big tech. New anti-doping, medication rules for horse racing unveiled. AP analysis, exposure to extreme heat has tripled since 1983. The latest, Austria minister says talks may enter extra time. Study, U.S. shoppers outspend Chinese to restore luxury market. Israeli family seeks to block return of boy to Italy. Rivian about to surpass GM as second most valuable U.S. car maker. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Tearing down the BQE, Bay Ridge subway line, city leaders dreaming big about how to spend federal infrastructure money. Denial, fuzzy memory, and obfuscation, Andrew Cuomo's 11 hours with AG investigators. Extra, shockingly, NYC not among the top 10 most livable cities in world. Agreement on Gowanus rezoning will bring 8,000 new apartments, public housing investment. 200 Madison Avenue lobby, adorned with peacocks and lion heads, landmarked by city. 10,000 young kids vaccinated at NYC schools over 2 days. Behold, the spectacular fall foliage on Governor's Island from above. Coronavirus stats, school edition, tracking outbreaks in NYC education. Early edition, Paul Rudd embraces life as sexiest man of the year. NYC. Removes Donald Trump adopt a highway sign on Henry Hudson Parkway. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. COP26, climate action in agribusiness could reduce emissions by up to 7%. Social movement voices fall on deaf ears of governments at COP26. Tedros calls for new high-level working group to get 40% vaccinated by year's end. UN chief welcomes China's pledge to cooperate on climate action. New UNESCO education report calls for new social contract. Wake-up call to assist Dr. Congo battle food insecurity. Climate change increasing threats in Southwest Pacific, WMO report. COP26, avoiding carbon tunnel vision, action on climate change needs an interconnected response. Era free of fossil fuel-powered vehicles comes into focus at COP26, draft outcome is met with calls for more ambition. UN police better placed for today's challenges to peace and security. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. The metaverse is Big Brother in disguise, freedom meted out by technological tyrants. More than half of U.S. states are soon to stop Biden's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. James O'Keefe reveals details of military-style FBI raid on his home. Highest U.S. inflation since 1990, CPI plus 6.2%. Biden's unhinged socialist banking nominee wants oil, coal, and gas industries to go bankrupt. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Legislation targets historic GI Bill racial inequities. Should a bottle always be put on tires when parked? Does Georgia have no way to verify 2020 presidential election results? Did a man try to save a giant crocodile and find something inside it? Twitter bans Newsmax reporter who promoted debunked satanic COVID-19 theories. Rittenhouse murder case thrown into jeopardy by mistrial bid. Capitol rioter who hit officer gets over 3 years in prison. Prince Harry says he warned Twitter CEO of U.S. Capitol riot. NASA bumps astronaut moon landing to 2025 at earliest. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Video questioning vaccine efficacy pushes falsehood about Israel data. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. High school football players screamed for help during broomstick hazing. Belarus dictator ups Hunte and Poland border showdown, I'll cut off Europe's natural gas supply. Father and daughter tortured and killed over valuable Stradivarius violins, prosecutor says. GOP ignores its Gaza problem and plots to punish moderates. Shailene Woodley's Aaron Rodgers defense is pure clownery. Embattled GOP senator says the staffer messed up his campaign reports and vanished. We found him in minutes. Trump's GOP has a new murderer's row of accused abusers. J.D. Vance's empathy for Kyle Rittenhouse is revolting. Clifford the Big Red Dog is the best CGI dog I've ever seen. Iran's herd immunity flop is very bad news for these U.S. states. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Morgan Wallen speaks out after CMA Awards ban, Album of the Year loss. After Harvey Weinstein horrors, his ex-employee crusades to ban NDAs. Police release dramatic 911 calls after deadly crash involving Henry Ruggs III. Carrie Underwood side-eyes Luke Bryan over Aaron Rodgers joke at CMA Awards 2021. Lala Kent speaks out on Randall Emmett breakup, I'm burning the bridge. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Long trips to space linked to possible brain damage. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Video shows grizzly, 4 cubs strolling through tourist town. US and China release new joint climate pledge. Crew Dragon astronauts launch for busy 6 months in space. SpaceX and NASA launch new crew to space station. Murder hornets cause bees to make fear screams. Magic and Cookie Johnson on surviving HIV, stopping the stigma and building an empire. How to watch longest partial lunar eclipse. Pfizer asks FDA to authorize COVID-19 booster shots for all adults. COVID cases spike across Europe. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Judge gives final approval of $626 million settlement for victims of Flint water crisis. Houston police admit Astroworld security guard wasn't injected with needle. SpaceX makes history with Wednesday's manned launch to International Space Station. Travis Scott's lawyer decries finger-pointing after Astroworld deaths. Massachusetts woman nearly loses leg after developing deadly condition following high-intensity spin class. Jerry Douglas, the young and the restless star, dies at age 88. Chris Stapleton takes 6 CMA awards, Luke Combs wins top prize. Aussie man escapes jaws of crocodile by stabbing it with pocket knife. Attorney drops pants at Pittsburgh court metal detector, gets arrested. Coolio partners with Hormel to promote free, big consented wrapping paper. The following headlines are from military.com. Disabled veterans wage fight against child porn and exploitation. Russia sends nuclear-capable bombers on patrol over Belarus. Military failing to provide required help for victims of sexual assault and abuse, watchdog finds. Cold War veterans in Rhode Island now eligible for property tax exemption. National parks offer free admission to everyone on Veterans Day. First Lady, coalition vowed to step up support for hidden helpers. Israel readying for possible Iran conflict, officials say. 100 years of the tomb of the unknown soldier. U.S. presses Russia over troop buildup along Ukraine border. Militaries around the world are severely underreporting carbon emissions, researchers say. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Kyle Rittenhouse case, the shooting, the arrest and the fallout as his trial continues in Kenosha. Northside resident, CCL holder fatally shoots would-be catalytic converter thief. Daywatch, will Illinois see yet another COVID wave as holidays approach? Kyle Rittenhouse testifies, I was trying to defend myself. Kenneth Branagh on his new film Belfast. Highest of honors, on Veterans Day, former guard of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier to attend its centennial events. I arrived a few minutes too late, says doctor who tried to save international student killed in Hyde Park. Clyde Emmerich, the NFL's first full-time strength coach, and known as the legend by the Chicago Bears, dies at age 90. Kyle Rittenhouse takes the stand in emotional day at Kenosha murder trial, I was trying to defend myself. Chicago Park District presents 2022 budget recommendations, including a new Office of Protection. As holidays approach, latest rise in Illinois coronavirus cases could mark the beginning of yet another wave. Chicago Park District Board President Davis Lavelle resigns in the wake of criticism of lifeguard sexual abuse investigation. The following headlines are from phys.org. Scientists appeal for immediate climate action at COP26. SARS-CoV-2 uses sugars to invade human cells. Laser-pelted, citric acid-washed copper could boost heat transfer. COP26, plastic pollution trackers released off Scotland. Future climate risks in the UK mapped out in detail on new website. New Peruvian bird discovered, the vivid yellow inti tanager. Why are people who've experienced natural disasters still skeptical about climate change? UN chief says global warming goal on life support. Analysis, exposure to extreme heat has tripled since 1983. Indonesia's capital Jakarta is sinking, how to stop it? Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, November 11th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. The ancient art of raising turkeys. Yes, Galileo actually said that. 5 endangered animals you should meet. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Japan closes in on qualifying group leaders in Asia. Education, religious groups gain most from giving strategy. Coronavirus Daily News Updates, November 11th, what to know today about COVID-19 in the Seattle area, Washington State and the world. Jockeys hurt after lights go out during race in Grants Pass. Your home renovation may require an insurance update, here's why. How to replace wired smoke detectors, and prevent them from chirping. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Winter is coming, COVID spiked last holiday season, Governor Newsom reminds California. High School Football Week 12 Preview, Top CCS, NCS Playoff Matchups, Schedule. Fantasy Football, what 49ers to start and sit against the Rams? Daly City Homicide, mother shot in home with 4-year-old nearby. Thanksgiving sides, A chef's take on creamed spinach. Elon Musk sells $5 billion of Tesla stock after Twitter poll. 7 awesome Bay Area things to do this weekend, November 12th to 14th. Ducks GM Bob Murray resigns, will begin alcohol abuse treatment. Longtime Bay Area News Group reporter Peter Hegarty dies at 56. COVID, California's fully vaccinated rate drops from 73% to 66.3% as Kids 5-11 vaccine eligibility is factored in. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. VP Harris takes heat for awkward French accent in lab tour. Wizards Kuzma to Cavs hecklers, Cleveland is nothing without LeBron. Former NJ Governor Chris Christie needles Donald Trump over 2020 loss. Kamala Harris, France wants to join the Artemis Accords, a major space exploration pact. DC volunteers send comfort kits to women in domestic violence shelters. Joe Biden announces effort to ID toxic air issues in veterans. UN says number of displaced people worldwide tops 84 million. UN chief says global warming goal on life support. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's son, Adam Abdul-Jabbar, sentenced for stabbing neighbor. F.W. de Klerk, South Africa's last apartheid president, dies. The next headlines are from The Intercept. During Brazil's dictatorship, companies helped suppress democracy. Will they do it again? Inflation is good for you. A right-wing brawler asked a court to protect him from an anti-fascist's tweets. How climate activists push the left edge of the possible. Strike wave, workers flex their muscle in tight labor market. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, November 11th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Man charged with carjacking Chicago radio host in the South Loop. Veterans Day 2021 deals for free meals, discounts and more. How one Southwest Side Health Center is leading Chicago on kids' COVID vaccinations. Van believed connected to woman's murder in Wheeling and disappearance of one-year-old daughter is found abandoned in Missouri. Illinois Rep. Lauren Underwood undergoing surgery to remove uterine fibroids. 2 people killed, 3 others wounded in shootings in Chicago Wednesday. Blackhawks Dylan Strome rejuvenated by new chapter under Derek King. Shabana Muskie transmitter steady tops go and show, and ice fishing show, Cook County permits reservations. Dear Abby, man employs son but ridicules him behind his back. 16-year-old boy charged with murder of Zion woman struck by stray bullet inside home. The next headlines are from the Times of India. Gaganyaan manned mission will finally be launched in 2023. India has not accepted illegal Chinese occupation of its territory. Complaint against King Anna for comments over India's freedom. Gorakhpur host deaths, suspended Dr. Kafil Khan sacked. T20 WC semi-final live score, Pakistan vs Australia. Rogue rose over Khurshid's remarks on Hindutva in Ayodhya book. India vs NZ, Rohit skip tests, Rahane to lead in first test. Apple CEO, move to Android to sideload apps, what it is. T20 WC Live, Pakistan lose Babar after a strong start. In pics, Best Red Carpet Moments from CMA Awards 2021. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, November 11th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. James Click's performance grade for the 2021 season. Things to do, Tejon Street Corner Thieves and Amigo the Devil, Secret Group, November 15th, 2021. Things to do, upcoming food and drink events November. Best bets the week of November 11th to 17th, 2021. Dine-in or takeout deals for Thanksgiving 2021. Preview, Churches at White Oak Music Hall, Houston, November 9, 2021. What are the chances the Astros retain their free agents? Things to do. Gus Clark and the least of his problems perform at Continental Club. What FDR had that Biden doesn't? How accessible are Houston's theaters? The next headlines are about world records making news. Ishnala sells record number of old fashions, goes for Guinness World Record, Yahoo News. Eric Domingo Roldan, find out about his Guinness World Record, Runner's World, UK. Venezuelan triple jumper aiming to repeat record year, Reuters. World's record food bill is hitting poorer countries hardest, Bloomberg. Mexico City sets world record for free Wi-Fi hotspots, Tech is floor. Jay Leno's world record in a Tesla Model S Plaid has been broken, Clean Technica. Paddler aims to set new world record in low Carib challenge, Comet Tribune Group. New world record, Telener employees write e-learning history, Globe Newswire. French balloonist attempts to set world record by standing on hot air balloon, X. Hard graft, backyard gardener claims world record for tree bearing 10 different fruits, The Guardian Australia. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Saladin Ahmed and Megan Levin's new comic star signs is for the astrology heads. Updates from Star Wars and/or Ms. Marvel, and more. I love this smart alarm clock. Hey, we might not die. 9 questionable kitchen appliances to give those who suffer from too much counter space. These surreal Indian festival photos reveal a huge environmental problem. Germany reports new record of 50,000 COVID-19 cases in single day. Elon Musk sells $5 billion in Tesla shares following Twitter poll. Apple lets you scan for evil AirTags that might be hovering nearby in iOS 15.2 beta. Disney's ridiculous Star Wars hotel is sold out for 4 months, despite ridiculousness. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Mariental in Namibia at 109.76 degrees Fahrenheit or 43.2 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Vostok in Antarctica at minus 67 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 55 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Subaru shows off its first electric vehicle, the Solterra SUV. Researchers wait 12 months to report vulnerability with 9.8 out of 10 severity rating. Rad powers Radwagon 4, a great e-bike at a surprisingly low price. SpaceX is beginning to get the hang of human spaceflight. White House hails vaccine mandates as number of unvaccinated drops 40%. Watch live, NASA's Crew 3 mission set to launch on a Falcon 9 rocket. Apple will no longer break Face ID on repaired iPhone 13s. More than 1,000 Android phones found infected by creepy new spyware. Valve delays Steam Deck launch 2 months to February 2022. Senator Lindsey Graham, I will do everything in my power to block Biden FCC pick. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Trump is in legal peril due to this key detail in conspiracy law analysis. Mike Lindell interviews Donald Trump ahead of his Thanksgiving push to overturn last year's election. Iowa state trooper is facing federal charges for violent arrest and could get 10 years in prison. Watch, Carl Bernstein explains why angry Pence team may flip on Trump and cooperate. Trump warns we will come back in self-pitying Veterans Day rant. Republicans caught manipulating videos to lie in early 2022 campaign ads. Gun-loving Trump supporters are amassing shock troops to attack democracy, former firearms exec. Strangely AWOL, legal experts express concern about Department of Justice's handling of the Trump investigation. Absolutely places he shouldn't go, Trump aides pushing 2022 stay-away strategy behind the scenes. South Africa's last apartheid president F.W. de Klerk dies. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. The furriest, cleverest, and hands down cutest way to fight climate change. A Capitol rioter was just sentenced to 41 months in prison. GOP megadonor announces plans to fundraise for Joe Manchin. What's with all these fossil fuel lobbyists at UN climate talks? Democrats are still trying to figure out how to talk about Taiwan and China. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. The impossible planet being observed by 2 Nobel laureates, LPAR in English. How scientists could tell the world if they find alien life, Scientific American. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. New biomarkers could help determine synaptic damage and neurodegeneration in Alzheimer's, News Medical Net. Psilocybin therapy boosts cognitive and neural flexibility in depressed patients, study finds, SciPost. Fragile X theory falters on amygdala test, Spectrum. Repeated listening to favorite music induces beneficial brain plasticity in Alzheimer's patients, News Medical Net. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. Global tech-driven drug discovery and development company, OncoCoin AG to launch Amarit, a Bitcoin-like crypto token for patients in India, Puniker News. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, November 11th, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, November 11th, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.